every empire built, every invention created, every great work of art. Beneath it lies sexual energy, either expressed or transmuted. The man who is constantly expelling this energy in the form of lust, casual sex, or pornography becomes a dim light. His magnetism fades. He becomes restless, always chasing, never fulfilled. But the man who renounces, who holds that energy within, who refines it and redirects it, he becomes a beacon. His energy becomes dense, vibrant, and gravitational. This is not about suppression. Suppression is fear-based. It is a forced avoidance. Renunciation is different. It is born from wisdom. It is a conscious decision to turn inward and become powerful. The man who renounces doesn't run from temptation. He transcends it. To renounce in a hypersexual world is to rise above the animal level of existence. Most men are caught in their lower instincts, constantly seeking validation through sex or seduction. They are slaves to their urges. But the one who can look desire in the face and walk away becomes master over himself. That mastery radiates outward. Women feel it. Other men respect it. The universe responds to it. When you renounce lustful behavior, you are not giving something up. You are taking something back. You are reclaiming your focus, your drive, your presence. You are no longer fragmented. Your energy is not scattered across internet screens and broken attachments. It is collected. You walk into a room, and others can feel your presence before you speak. Why? Because your energy is intact. You have not spent it on emptiness. You have gathered it in silence and discipline. Renunciation is not withdrawal. It is attraction at its highest form. When sexual energy is retained and redirected, it begins to refine your consciousness. It moves upward through your body and mind. Your thinking sharpens. Your creativity blossoms. Your dreams become vivid. Your decisions become precise. You no longer need to chase. Things begin to come to you. You are no longer dependent on the world for your sense of self. You become sovereign. Spiritual traditions across time have pointed to this truth. The yogis of India, the Taoists of China, the mystics of Egypt, they all knew that sexual energy, when preserved and redirected, becomes spiritual fire. It is the fuel for awakening. When you renounce lust, you are not renouncing pleasure. You are choosing higher pleasure, the pleasure of mastery, the pleasure of purpose, the pleasure of peace. And paradoxically, when you stop chasing women for pleasure, women chase you, because they sense your strength. They feel your containment. You are no longer thirsty, and that lack of thirst makes you incredibly desirable. You have depth, mystery. Wait, you are not here to take. You are here to give something sacred, and that, in the feminine subconscious, is irresistible. The one who renounces becomes detached, not cold, but centered. He is no longer controlled by emotion or desire, and it is this detachment that makes him magnetic. People trust him. They admire him. They wonder about him. Why? Because he is not trying to get anything from them. He is full. His cup overflows. He becomes a giver of presence, not a taker of attention. The man who renounces lust and casual pleasures becomes a force of nature. He walks differently. He speaks with clarity. He listens deeply. Why? Because he is not distracted. His energy is not leaking. He is not fantasizing. He is here. This presence is rare in today's distracted world, and that rarity draws people in. He doesn't chase women, yet women come. He doesn't beg for respect, yet he commands it. He doesn't need money, yet money flows toward his purpose. This is the mystery of renunciation. It seems like lack on the outside, but it creates abundance on the inside. The energy you once used for chasing, watching, begging, or fantasizing, where does it go when you renounce? It transforms. It becomes power, vision, focus, courage. The same energy that once made you weak now makes you a leader. The same urges that once made you restless now fuel your discipline. You become calm but not passive. You become alert but not anxious. You become hungry, not for sex, but for self-mastery, truth, and growth. You begin to attract opportunities, synchronicities, and people who reflect your rising vibration. The world bows to the man who is not enslaved by it. Renunciation doesn't need to be loud. In fact, it is often silent. The man who walks away from lust, who chooses solitude over shallow pleasure, begins to speak in energy. His presence speaks louder than words. He does not need to tell people who he is. They feel it. He does not need to prove his worth. His restraint proves it. He is not reactive. He is not hungry for likes or validation. He is still, rooted, and this stillness shakes the world. This stillness makes people question themselves. In a room of noise, he becomes the signal. In a world of boys trying to impress, he becomes a man who is unimpressed, yet impressive. Do you want to influence the world? Do you want to leave a legacy? Then renounce the distractions, especially sexual ones. Because every time you say no to the lower impulse, you say yes to your higher self. You tell the universe you are ready for power. You are ready for responsibility. You are ready to build, not just consume. Men who built legacies, Nikola Tesla, Leonardo da Vinci, Marcus Aurelius, understood this. They were not slaves to lust. They redirected their sexual energy into art, innovation, and vision. They were creators, not consumers. You have that same potential, but it requires sacrifice. It requires burning the bridge to your past patterns. It requires stepping into fire and choosing discomfort over comfort. You must look at your urges, not with shame, but with understanding. Those urges are raw power waiting to be refined, gained through loss. In renunciation, you lose the surface, but you gain the depths. You lose temporary pleasure, but you gain permanent power. You lose external validation, but you gain internal peace. You may lose shallow relationships, but you attract a deep one. You may walk alone for a while, but you walk with purpose. Eventually, everything you thought you needed begins to find you. Why? Because your vibration rises. Your worth increases. You become an energetic for greatness. When you no longer need, you receive. When you no longer chase, you attract. When you no longer beg, you command. This is a paradox that only those who renounce understand. When you renounce lust and live in alignment, your body begins to change. Your posture improves. Your eyes glow. Your skin clears. Your voice deepens. Your testosterone stabilizes. Why? Because your biology reflects your inner decisions. Your cells feel your commitment. Your brain rewires itself. You don't just become better, you become different. And this shift cannot be faked. No cologne, no clothes, no gym body can substitute for this energetic transformation. Your entire being begins to communicate purity, strength, clarity, and mystery. This is the essence of masculine magnetism. He who renounces becomes invincible, not because he has everything, but because he needs nothing. He becomes a king of his own kingdom. He walks among chaos and is not moved. He looks at temptation and smiles, not from fear, but from fullness. He has mastered the art of holding his seed, his thoughts, his presence, and his purpose. He has become fire in human form, not burning recklessly, but radiating silently. He who renounces attracts everything, because he has become everything.